Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, the situation is becoming chaotic on the side of Ukraine. Russia is unleashed. Russia is now attacking everything. Seeing that Ukraine at the time decided to attack the heart of the Russian economy by hitting the infrastructure oil, Russia too no longer sets limits. Russia has no limits. Russia strikes everything. Energy infrastructure, gas infrastructure. On the same night of October 3rd to 4th, 2025, Odessa was on fire. Yes, that region of Ukraine was on fire. Fire total. But the targets that were hit, it is really the heart of commerce and of the Ukrainian economy, which is to be touched but severely. Yes, the Russia sent more than 17 drones shard. But don't just look at the number of drones, but the impact negative enough that these drones have had in the Odessa region. The situation is serious, there is crying, there is runs in all directions. Zelensky does not know what to do anymore, but during this time, these NATO elements know that since they always prepare also surgical strikes on the Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, within the framework of this geopolitical conference, on world news. It is from this news that we are going to talk about. Welcome, of course. Before continue, agree to share this video conferencing at most. In all possible groups, put a lot of likes and always remember to leave your different opinions in comment. If this is your first time to be there, please click on the subscribe button. Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. There you go. What if you follow me on other channels communication, especially on TikTok? I'm not on TikTok, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. There you have it. The TikTok pages that broadcast my videos without my consent will be deleted very soon. Let's go deep. Yes, this is an unprecedented strike, and this strike is the symbol of economic war and emotional. Yes, there was an attack by Shahed drones on Ukraine, especially on the Odessa side. That was the fire in the cellars from Odessa. So I think it's obviously this alcohol production plant that was struck. According to official information, on the night of October 4th, 17 Russian drones hit an industrial site. In Malaya Arnotkaya, which is a district of Odessa, among the targets, therefore several targets were hit. But among the targets there is a factory traffic jam. A factory where we put the thing in the bottle. This factory is called Azori, and it is a cognac producing factory. Iconic. You know cognac? Here are the connoisseurs who know the cognac. So it's a producing factory. Cognac, which is emblematic and exported throughout Europe. You know, Europeans are very fond of good cognac. There you go. But it's this factory that produces this that was hit, severely hit. Then the CEO of the company confirms the loss of 250,000 bottles. 250,000 bottles in this factory have been destroyed. Completely destroyed, I was going to say. So it must be said that it is an economic disaster that is valued at several $1 million. This is a huge loss for Ukraine. It's a huge loss, yes. So that means that Russia is no longer sparing any resources. You have to hit while the geolocation is here. You have to strike everything that can allow Ukraine to live, to stand. Russia strike. I tell you that the conflict has changed in depth. The conflict has changed dimension. This conflict that we have known since 2022 until 2024, even until the beginning from 2025 there. From the month of February, March, no, it's not the same anymore conflict. We are on another dimension since Russia is hit in depth. Ukraine is hit in depth, and these are strikes intensified. More dialogue, more negotiation. The doors of the diplomacy were closed, and finally we are going into deep war. I will tell you, I said it, it's as if the conflict had someone press the restart button and he starts all over again. But this time with ruins. That's it that it is. So let's go deep. I want to see enough share video conferencing. Share it. You have to say that the residents of the neighborhood have gave testimonies. They testified that there were several explosions. They saw the warehouses go up in flames. See, with fire, they caught fire, eh? When we talk about conflagration, it is the total fire that ravages everything. So all the neighborhood cried, the whole neighborhood cried. Yes, since they know the importance from this factory. They know what it is represents for Ukraine. All the neighborhood cried. So the authorities, Ukrainians, on the other hand, speak of a targeted attack on infrastructure, civil and commercial. So you see, the war has moved to another camp. There is no more, I don't even want to anymore repeat this twice. Military target. This is no longer the problem. It is the target, both military, economic, and strategic, energetic, everything. Weaken, yes to war, as to war. We are in the real war now there. And what is complicated is that there is no hope at all, huh? We don't know when it is. There will still have openings to go towards dialogue. And since this is the dialogue there, which allows us to move towards the peace, but unfortunately there is no information. So Odessa, it's not the wine that flowed this night. No, it's not the wine. It's the soul of a country that has sunk, because we know what this represents, wine, for Odessa, for Ukraine. It is why the inhabitants cried, because that they know what it brings in economically. So this all sums up the strategy Russian hit the symbols and the economy of everyday life. Of Ukrainian daily life, everything that is symbol of the Ukrainian economy, it hits, she hits, I was going to say. So by attacking a non-civilian site strategically, Moscow seeks to strike the ordinary life, work, production, the heritage, national pride. It is everything Moscow hits. The Asnori factory, which is a recognized brand and symbol of Ukrainian refinement, embodies a prestige and identity product for Ukraine. Is a prestige product and identity, huh? The cognac, which is exported everywhere in Europe. But listen, it comes from there. It's a national pride. So that means it's a big one factory. By hitting this factory there, the workers will stay home. No work and also no alcohol with this winter season where the cold will really be at another level. So it's also a psychological target, since destroying those who bring the joy. When I speak of joy, you understand what brings joy, trade, and hope is also a psychological target. So this strategy aims to exhaust the civil morale and provoke a feeling of generalized impotence. Here is the strategy that Russia is pursuing to use. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. The headlines of international news. You'll be back later with some new information. It was, of course, the voice of your samurai.